And as my sister pointed out to me, even when my parents do die, I'm still gonna have
And then at Christmas, when my sister was out of the house and my mum was out of the house, even though I've done a bloody dissertation on them, they haunt me even though my sister goes diving with sharks. Okay, I know exactly, because everything's still a mess. I mean, I've moved back down to Woking, and my sister's moved out, so I've got my old big room.
And I don't want to be a burden on my sister, and like, even if, that's, you know, tough. I try to act like it doesn't matter to me, but it does. I love her. She's my sister. I scared my sister.
Role model, the people who I ended up mimicking were my very squealy baby talking mother and my sister who can
treat me as we treat our toys. Nikki laughed. I used to decapitate my sister's Barbies. Lisa nodded. Nikki stared at her. And your
whenever other people came around, like my sister's friends or whatever, it'd be, can you help me with this game? It's like snarling angrily because I got home and because I'm on a health kick, because my sister's getting me on a health kick at the moment, I came. I mean, I already know that he's tried to get my sister to fucking get to me. One of the reasons I actually wanted to make this, which is that, you know, at one point my sister said, oh, well, you always have a reason for it, as I had watched a bit of the TV series with my family, with my sister, and that was very awkward. And there was this one time that this friend of my sister's came around and she like got to the final boss.
I knew that I would always have to work on it, but I'm making my sister scared now. I'm making my sister scared. The one,
which is why I find it faintly fucking ridiculous that you know, my sister and my mother basically said, hey, here's 2 cats, and
telling me, you know, every single day that she loved me. My sister, who was just fucking nice and sweet, and, you know, the teachers, who, yes,
wrong way about it, they stole my fucking money, bitch. Not I'm calling my sister a bitch. She's a lovely woman, but Jesus. I don't want to lose them because my dad's a cunt. No. I don't want to lose my sister because my dad's a cunt. And it looks like with 2 cats, a guinea pig, and my sister's fucking emigrated. But my dad's just like, get all the money you can out.
Can't quite achieve escape velocity. You know. My sister goddamn emigrated, and now she's back. You know.
I already know that he's tried to get my sister to fucking get to me. Because my sister's fucking, she doesn't acknowledge that there's a,
again, you know? But neither do I want to be fucking scaring my sister. You know? It's like I of your old life remains, and at the same time, my parents have been separating, and my sister's emigrated, and
easy levels, and then just play those easy levels over and over again. And I would ask my sister for help, and my sister was brilliant at the games because she was my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my own son. When I look into their eyes, I will argue and lecture and yell and say, no, we are right to take your money. And my sister, bless her,
this was not good because, bless her, but my sister cannot sing for fucking toffee. I mean, neither can I. But then, because at the same time, right, there is the complicated factor that, you know, my sister is the one who thinks Dad's still a good guy and doesn't think that he's been abusive. And bless my sister, she's like, oh, but you're both alternative. You're alternative as well. They'd probably love you. Dad, without Mum, without my sister, without my cat who likes to bite me and claw me, you know.
Never eating anything that's gone battery farmed, because I'm just, yeah, I'm like, my sister has pet chickens.
So, meanwhile, my sister's, you know, using her overdraft to buy some new fancy shoes, and my mother
He's saying that he wants to get my mum sectioned. My sister is emigrating. My attempts to volunteer are stuck in a bureau.
My parents are separating. My sister's emigrating. And my dad is screaming at me that I'm a useless fucking baby because I can't But my sister, the one member of this family that actually goddamn got away with being
that's really, really awesome. And I heard my sister and my parents sort of saying, oh no, Nintendo! I don't want Nintendo.
This is early fucking days and it's gonna be a heck of a long time before I see him like my sister sees him, if ever. But the point is, I don't know you. But when it's my sister, then I give a shit. And I think maybe people are kind of looking at...
And I am actually going to have to share this to my sister because I just fucking tagged her. So...
I honestly, I thank my sister so much for having the strength to tell me the truth. I say and do. If I wasn't prepared to stand by what I say and do, I wouldn't do it, right? My sister gets annoyed by this because she's like, oh, we've always got to... I tried to ask for new trainers. My mum's response was to have my sister find some old set of trainers and say, why did you wear this on? I've been drinking this shit day in, day out for fucking 10 years. I haven't got fucking diabetes. My sister drinks Coca-Cola, much less. Wait, my parents were born in England. I was born in England. My sister was born in England. My grandparents were born in England. My Christopher Eccleston's voice, right? And to the extent that my sister was once very concerned that I'd suddenly gone northern. Sort of getting up, running out of my room and knocking on my sister's door and sort of going, oh my god, have you just seen Doctor Who? Well, no, it's not a feeling, it's an outright fact. Like, my mother, my sister, my father, and my people, and I'd done it through meetup, and there was one person attending. My dad and my sister said they'd come along for kind of like moral support or whatever. And then yesterday it was like, okay, my sister has gone, I'm going to go up the road and I'm gonna get food.
About how fucking weird the day has been. First of all, happy birthday to my sister. You are awesome. You're awesome. I effectively gave it to my sister, and I was using PC for everything, and
I'm gonna go for that religious thing, which I'm only mentioning because I mentioned the names Adam and Eve, and my sister was just like, oh, so it's religious, like,
and I'm liking the fact that fanboying about sharks is kind of cool and accepted. You know, my sister and whatever
happened, and I didn't think anything of it. And then my sister came home with nits, and I got nits, and Mum got nits.
And then there's my sister having a go at me because I'm not being kind to Dad.
to blithely fucking, you know, there are fanfics out there that people have written about fucking my sister. Presumably whilst all I like what I like and I did not like that. That was cringy. And my sister came in halfway through and she started singing. This was and I scared my sister. I scared my goddamn sister.
Did not expect any of that to happen. So I'm pretty certain. I am pretty certain that my sister's getting me like the Mass Effect trilogy.
It's not just, you know, my food in there, you know. I mean, my sister's home, from being, you know, recording at 6 AM when I've got a cold, and my sister is sleeping just next door, means that I have,
because of the amount of computers I've had before, and my sister has had before, and my mum, I've essentially got loads of
especially Revenge of the Sith, watching that with my sister just recently. She was like, "Oh, this is so awesome, these are all the things I know," and I'm... sorry about that. That was my sister, coming in without knocking, slowly. So I'm going in there. I want it to be awesome because I love my sister and I trust her opinions. Like, this is going to be awesome. Why, write essays on why you would like to rape my sister and flay me alive. I don't care. Nobody. And so, basically, at this point, you know, the cavalry have been called in, and it's like, you know, like my sister and my father are
Burma, Singapore, my sister's there. Indonesia, probably not. Okay, the nerd in me wants to visit. The most common things that happens, I mean, at least I know from my sister, is they get decapitated. So that's what happens. There are, of course, my mother, my father, my sister, my employment advisor have all said, yeah.
Cream off to my sister all you fucking like. It ain't gonna fucking change the fact that very much a moderate. But my mother and my sister, they are both kind of worried. Like, I think you care to. Don't want to see a disgusting thing? Go look at something else. And my sister vastly disagrees with this.
For the reality of my medical condition is oh, I don't like the breasts, and so my sister and my mother have gotten quite.
Also, I think I just implied there I know my sister's pant size. I don't know anything. I don't even know my own pant size. I did not mean to imply that my sister getting married would be something going wrong, although I suppose she... Oh, or in the case of my sister, she fucks off to a different country altogether. And fucking good on her too. The day, you know, I'm basically done, you know, it's like at this point I've finished updating my sister's laptop. I have finished doing how this is nicely set up. I mean, certainly there is a problem that my sister noticed as well, which is that there are
people's fear of being fat and ugly and ostracized. And my sister is, I mean, bless her, I love her so very, very much. But
it scares, it scares my sister. It really scares my sister, and I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Not putting up with that. And if my sister knows that, if my sister will just say, "No, Dad, I'm not putting up with your shit. You just..." And my sister, like me, is sort of a floating voter who's just going for whoever's got the best sort of thing. So, like, vegetarian, I recognised that being a vegetarian was morally superior, and basically my sister got a pet chicken, and I was like, people just play it on their games or whatever while listening, and certainly, you know, the way my sister watches movies, you know, like, first I started to pull my life together, and then I left university, and my family fell apart. I mean, my sister fucking emigrated. My parents, there's some kind of genuine connection there, which is why my sister won't go, which is why my mum waited so long to fucking separate from him. Goes mad, and he's just taking out everybody. And my sister's there going, this is so awesome, isn't it? And I'm just, this is, and in this scene, you see the same thing. But my sister's there going, this bit's really awesome! I'm the alpha male, fucking pay attention to me! No, you're not, shut up! And I've got my sister kind of clearly, like, she's just fucking posts who have sent me Qurans and nappies, who have written fanfics about fucking my sister to get at me. What do it does, however, concern my sister, because she doesn't like the diet stuff. It does, however, concern a good deal of us now. Finished watching all the Star Wars films with my sister, so that means that I can now watch. Just going to fucking get it out and move on with my life, right? My sister is like, no, that's disgusting. You're being rude because you aren't. I treat you like shit, and so at a certain point you have to turn around and say, no, I'm not putting up with that. And even my sister knows that. Even my sister will just use this. And so to watch this scene that my sister is saying is so awesome, and it sort of is in a kind of artistic sense, but it's all here, that's it, right? On the one hand, my sister's coming to me, and is asking me, and is talking to me. And on the other hand, Dad's, whilst that was going on, my sister was basically screaming at me, saying, well, it's all my fault because I'm just a very bad boy. You might be looking at this going, well, my sister, cousin, aunt, whatever, qualifies for disability pay. Yeah, that's not autism, and that's not anything due to my sister. It's just kind of a fact. That are tough. I mean, my sister enjoys a fantastic relationship with my dad because she utterly does everything. I stayed up till like goddamn midnight helping my sister update her laptop from Windows 8 to Windows 10. My parents get divorced to be moving house. I was not expecting my sister to emigrate. I was not expecting Trump or Brexit. I was so as it happens today, my sister is emigrating again to somewhere. Apologies to all the cute women I happen to know within my life. Unfortunately, you are not my sister, and so you are not exempt from right. I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, my mother and my sister are scared of buttons. Dealt with bigger bad bastards than you fucks. And my sister's safely in another country. So, yeah. You know, because I can't... I love my sister. I love my sister, and I don't want to lose her because of that. It's basically disintegrating. Like, you know, my sister's constantly in other countries. My father's just off. I leave it. I go out without my computer. Okay? My sister doesn't. My sister goes fucking everywhere with her. It's basically why I kind of keep asking my sister whether she's gotten married yet, because because otherwise he will say, weakness, I will go in and pick on you. And you know, my sister is
Pat is dead. My sister has emigrated. I am actually gonna be volunteering at a library.
Be the alpha person around my sister because she's terrified of that and she will, like, it will. I don't like this at all. And the problem is, my sister hangs around with my dad. Like, she's the one member of the family who gives a shit about him, right?
White, moraler than thou, Mr. fucking being lectured by my sister, my dad, my mother, my
about their fantasies of fucking my sister and shit like that. Well, here's the thing, guys. With the fact that they are what they are, right? You know, I suppose it's like my sister, you know, says to me, and my father is sort of a diehard Labour fan, and my sister like me is sort of a floating. I mean, my sister can look after herself. She knows how to deal with people a fuck of a lot better than I do. Is that when I blow my nose, I basically do this, right? In that, I just stream out onto the thing. And my sister's like, no, that's... My fucking fan is dying. Disintegrating. I mean, my sister's doing okay, but... is in the same company as my sister, who I care about and genuinely is scared of me shouting. And it's fortunately my sister, my brain just goes nope. That is the one area where my brain just goes nope. Understand, right? In the same way, that's like my mother and my sister being terrified of buttons, right? You know, right? People who have been insulting me and issuing me death threats and telling me that they would like to fuck my sister loudly, like that I shout and that I scare people, right? Because, you know, she's my sister and I love her. Disruptive nature of automation. And here is where I have found myself still on. Because there is such a bias, that there is such a difference. Because of the way my sister tricked me, right? What were these? Right? In the sense that, you know, like, my family, my mother and my sister have a phobia of buttons. They hate thick, saying that they would like to fuck my sister loudly so that they could humiliate me. I hate Trump. You know what it means when someone can't sing but wants to, which means that I can't stand being around my sister because she constantly keeps trying to sing. Currently saying that it wants to fuck my sister, that it thinks I rape my cat, that it thinks that I fancy, it thinks I rape my cat, that it thinks that I fancy my sister, which is just a fucked up thing to fucking say of fucking anyone.
Always get a copy. I could always borrow a copy from my sister. Although I hope, I really hope I brilliant, you know, like blood, you know, like, you know, blood, you know. And also, on my mini break with my sister in London, I watch Wally. Okay, but and on the one hand, like, yeah, it's unhealthy and my sister's genuinely trying to get me help. But on the other hand, it's like Dr. Fanvids that I started speaking really northern. And my sister got really kind of freaked out. Why are you speaking so northern? Do with him. I don't want to have to speak to my sister and listen to her talk about him like he's a nice fucking guy. That essentially somebody let slip, I forget who, it might have been my sister, but essentially somebody let slip that, oh yeah, I was pretty much the entirety of my life, you know, getting bullied every day and being told by my sister, well, at least you're not in Africa.